Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show. Welcome to my show. When you think about childhood, you think about innocence. You think about time to be a kid. And unfortunately, not everybody has that experience. Joining us right now from Canada, Essi Bagheri. He is an activist and author, and he has a really, really rough story to share with us. Essi, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, Jeff.
Yes. So tell us your story. You grew up in Iran, and you were a child soldier.
That's correct. Yes, that was I was 13 years old when I got recruited to Revolution Guard, and it's been a long time, Jeff. Yes.
And so, all of those normal things that we associate with the innocence of childhood, you had none of that.
Oh no, my life story is nothing about my life story is fair, and even before age of 10, mentally, emotionally, physically, sexually, in every way, I got abused, and so then I don't remember any fun childhood. If you really want to, if I look at it, sometimes look back and say, like in the beginning there was nothing, but in spite of everything that I went through, there's possible to change and be happy and overcome everything. Yes.
And that's one of the reasons you wrote your book. We're going to put the book cover up. It's called Shattered Soul: The True Story of a Child Soldier. Man, just even that title and the look of that bomb in the background, it must have been difficult for you to relive some of that stuff to write the book.
Yes, actually it was, but at the same time it was very therapeutic to do that. I remember like for 100 times that I was editing and trying to write it again and rewrite it again, and there was time that I was by myself and I started crying and something every time that I read and rewrite, I just changed something in me, and that's why it made me a person who I am today. My past no longer has any power on me. As a matter of fact, my past gave me a power to become who I am today.
So the book is really inspirational, and despite all the trauma and everything you experienced, it's a hopeful book.
Oh, definitely. The book. I remember I had this interview in New Jersey, I believe, and the person who received the book, he says, I don't know. And then after he read the book and she interviewed me, she said, I had no idea. I couldn't put the book down, and that's but it's about not just the child soul. It's about our human condition, that doesn't matter how tough, and it's more about resiliency. I believe that we're living in a culture right now that our kids or they don't like their post and they get depressed, and there's like suicide, and there's teenagers that, addiction, and on and on and on. And I believe that we can prevent that.
Yes, absolutely. You have become something of a media star. I know you get interviewed quite a bit. We've got some video from an interview not too long ago. When you get interviewed, is the media just kind of shocked at what you've been through and how you came out the other side?
Oh, totally. It's see, this is not a story that you hear every day in the news, and there are people that, whatever the news. This is a real life story that. When I talk about when I was, for example, in a battlefield, and I had a choice of walking a landmine or shoot myself. That's not a choice that you regularly for 13, 14 years old make in a daily routine. But um, or being in a refugee camp and escaping from country to country, and experiencing racism, and to the point that I felt that I'm not white enough, not black enough, trying to commit suicide few times, many times actually, and been to 17 treatments at 29 detox, psych ward, and overcome everything, Jeff, and sit in front of you. This is just a testament that our human condition we can change, and no matter. And the biggest thing is for me is gratitude, Jeff. Today, either I'm in fear or I'm in gratitude, and I try to, even in this pandemic, trying to be grateful for what I have and where I am. And we all have that. We all have that, especially people who live in North America, Canada, US, and sometimes I think that we're very spoiled, and so I come up and share these things that, to be more grateful.
Yes. I know you write about your addiction or your battle with addiction in the book. And as you know, during this pandemic, we read stories on the news about people turning to drugs and alcohol to self-medicate. What advice would you give for the person who is trying to find healing in a bottle?
Well, this great question, Jeff. This is a tough situation, tough moment for a lot of us. But um, if someone is, my whole life I try to escape with the bottle or some other stuff, alternative thing, outside things, and nothing changes. It gets worse. And the biggest thing that I can recommend is to have someone to talk to, and and then also one thing, if I can say one thing that would definitely change people's mood and life, is to we have to write at least 5 to 10 things every day, that what are you grateful for, the smallest things. For example, Jeff, being having a family, living in the most beautiful technology country, in having healthy friends, and just basic having place to live.
Yes.
That can be something to be grateful for.
Yeah. Essie, you're a great interview. We're going to put your website up so people can get in touch with you for speaking engagements, as well as your website. It's donotgiveupnow.com is the website. Essie, we're absolutely going to have you back. You were an amazing guest.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, Jeff. I appreciate it.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.